Iron Supporting Food Banks collects food and cash donations for needy families in Newham Borough and beyond. Please consider making a donation via their Just Giving page, the link for which you will find in the description section of this stream. Come on, you Irons!
West Ham are massive, everywhere we go! West Ham are massive, everywhere we go! Everywhere we go! West Ham are massive, everywhere we go! West Ham are massive, everywhere we go! Everywhere we go!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We got to do it. Welcome back to the West Ham Massive. Thanks for joining us. And as always ask you to do, please don't forget to like, comment on and share this stream to your social media platforms. And subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And make sure you hit that bell icon for alerts on new content. Remember, guys, all these things you can do are free of charge to you. They take about a couple of seconds of your time. They help to grow the channel into something bigger than better than what it finds itself at the moment. And as always, we thank you very much indeed for your support. As I say, we've got to talk about it. If we do a preview, we've got to do a review. It has to be yin and yang, bit of balance. We got our trousers pulled down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. There's no other way of describing it. Match day 8 of 38. We went along the North Circular Road, and it all went a little bit wrong in the second half. Guys, please do get involved in the live chat. I'll get involved as much of the comments as I can. You might get a little bit of a ranty version of me today because I've calmed down a little bit, but I'm still quite put out by what I witnessed yesterday. Keep your eye on the ticker at the bottom. It will intermittently change with certain little facts and figures, such as the officials that were on show yesterday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm also going to press this button here for my little presentation I have sort of running in the background, which I hope you appreciate and get a little bit of enjoyment and a little bit of knowledge out of whatever. So I'm just going to have a little look in the live chat and just see who we've got in there. Learn to dig 2 pits is there. I take it you're probably on about the head coach. I hope you're not on about me. I'd like to think I'm not. Larry, hope you are well. Same for Sully too, says be careful what you wish for, FC. Come on, you Irons indeed, Pits. Hammers 89 there. Sack the manager who could lose to United. He's lost the dressing room. It isn't looking good, it has to be said. Michael, nice to see you in the live chat. Hope you are well. I've been a while since I saw you, mate. Yeah, I saw him. We was on a podcast a little bit earlier on, so it's me just being funny. Bowling Lounge is in. Hope you are well. Words and pictures. Hello to yourself as well. Told you all to be careful what you wish for. You all asked for this. Listen, we wanted Moyes out, didn't necessarily want this guy in. So anyway, it is what it is. Look, you guys talk amongst yourselves. Appreciate it, Michael. Really do. As always. Right. Okay. Let's get stuck into this. So thoughts on both of the starting 11s. So you can see there what the starting 11 was for West Ham United. Now, personally, I looked at that and straight away thought to myself a couple of things. I thought Rodriguez, and you know, to be fair to him, he actually had a decent game against Spurs. It has to be said. But the one thing I think is that he's a little bit one-paced, I think I will say. And I thought that Alvarez would probably been better suited in there, to be fair. But, you know, like I say, he did have a decent game yesterday. I've got to give him a little bit of props for that. But I'd have probably gone with Alvarez. Kudus on the left again. Yes, he scored, but then he obviously got the red card right at the end, lost his head. Paquetá, I think it's coming closer to the time, guys, where a big call's going to have to be made with him. And Antonio up top, as I say, you best you're going to get his 60 minutes. I didn't even think we got that much out of him, to be honest. There's the Spurs team. Again, Brennan Johnson was the guy that I'd singled out as their danger man, the form that he was in. We were going to need to bring our best version of ourselves to the party to keep him at bay. But then little did we know that it was going to be Kulusevski that was really going to be the one that was pulling the strings. Son as well, I thought played to good effect, but it was a substitution that was made on the stroke of half time when James Maddison was withdrawn, surprisingly to some, probably to James Maddison as well. but he was replaced by Pape Sarr. Now, I do think that change did dramatically alter the complexion of the second half, alter the trajectory of the second half, and not to our benefit, it has to be said. I mean, look at that. There's the momentum. I mean, bloody hell, it's pretty much dominated by Tottenham. But in the first half, I've got to say, if I just sort of like talk about the first half performance, despite the fact, as you can see there, the momentum was mainly with the home team. I do actually think we had the better chances. I really do. I think we obviously went 1-0 up. You know, it was a fine run from Bowen down our right hand side, their left flank, cuts the ball back, sort of like round a penalty spot, that sort of neck of the woods. It comes to Kudus. He fires it home. I think it was Pedro Porro, I think, was on the line, if I remember correctly, diving to try and make the block. Couldn't make it. 1-0, fantastic, brilliant. You know, we're sort of like off to the races. 18 minutes gone. We're 1-0 up against our local rivals. But I just always had this feeling, as I say, they were dominating possession, and I just had this feeling that they were going to carve something out. You look at their offensive lineup: Son, Solanke, Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski, Maddison. They've got some real quality going forwards. I don't like them. But you know, you got to give them. You got to say it for what it is. They are a good team moving forwards, and they were moving forwards to good effect. And you just thought it was a matter of time. So they're on the 36th minute. Dejan Kulusevski, he's fed by James Maddison. He puts it past Areola. Now, I'm going to say it. If you look at Areola of late, a lot of the goals that he's been conceding have been at the near stick. Go back and look at those 4 goals that were conceded. Now, okay, the own goal, you could probably give him a little bit of leeway for. But a lot of the goals that he's conceding, guys, are near stick. He's getting beat at his near post repeatedly. Now, I don't know if you remember, but Joe Hart, in his latter days at Manchester City, a lot of people picked up he had a bit of a weakness with shots that came to his left-hand side. And I'm just wondering if there's a similar sort of technical flaw with Areola, because he seems to be, and I'm sure the opposition, because you look, right, you got the analysts nowadays, they're paid an awful lot of money, and they will drill down into the finer details of the strengths and weaknesses of each of the players on the opposition team. I am quite convinced that this is a weakness has been highlighted in the DNA of Alphonse Areola, that anything that's shot towards his near post has a pretty reasonable chance of beating him. Lots of the goals that have gone against him of late have been at the near post. I don't believe that this is luck. I don't believe that this is a coincidence. I believe that this is a plan that opposition coaches, opposition managers have got to maximize a weakness that they've identified in our goalkeeper. So anyway, we go in at 1-1. Now, to be honest with you, I would have taken a 1-1 at half time. Absolutely would have done. But as I say, that change at half time, Maddison for Sarr, did change things in the direction of travel towards Tottenham. That is an absolute fact. And in the space of 8 second half minutes, the game was poised. It was on a knife edge. It could have gone either way. And in an 8-minute spell, the game was gone, taken away from us. Minutes 52 to minute 60, they scored 3 goals. Bang, 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 done. The manager was farting around trying to get substitutes on. We had players trying to warm up, this, that, and the other. And by the time he slung them on, the game was 4-1. We were 4-1 down. You might as well not have bothered. You might as well just leave them where they were. Complete waste of time. They're not going to come. We're not going to come back from 4-1 down away from home with 29 minutes of the second half left. The game's gone, mate. Gone. Bissouma gets a goal. Own goal from Areola. It was a shot that cannoned off of his legs, hit Jean-Claire Todibo, who, for some inexplicable reason, the commentary team said at the start said that he was Jean-Claude Todibo. I'll get into TNT in a minute because I got a little bit of a bee in my bonnet about their coverage. Absolute joke. That was the goal that pretty much you thought that was the game over, but they sealed it with a goal 5 minutes afterwards from Son. Again, the assist coming from Sarr. He obviously, as I say, had a good impact in the second half. And that was the game done. The substitutions that took place literally as the ball's hitting the back of the net after we're 4-1 down. Alvarez on for Paqueta, who was absolutely anonymous as far as I was concerned. He swanned around the pitch, doing absolutely nothing. Total waste of time. Antonio, obviously, you know that he's not going to last anything more than an hour. And obviously, he was replaced by Somerville. Carlos Soler replaced Thomas Soucek. Soler's meant to be the heir apparent to Paqueta, right? All he does is he comes on within 6 minutes of him coming on. He gets another bloody yellow card. That's all he seems to do. He'll do a stupid foul. He'll get a yellow card. He'll moan at the referee, and that's him done. Mavropanos came on 70th minute for Rodriguez. As I say, I thought Rodriguez had a good game. You know, he's brought on another defender for a defensive midfielder. The game was gone. What was the point? What was the point? But then you fast forward 86 minutes, 84 minutes, excuse me, it was that the yellow card was given. It was originally a yellow card for the challenge between Kudus and Van der Ven. There was a little bit of play acting, but the thing was, he put his hands on the guy's face. Not only did he put his hands on the guy's face, he actually, if you watch it back, he actually had a go at another player, and I think that was Sarr as well. So he's had a go at two Tottenham players. I mean, you'd have been arsehole lucky to get away with it once. Twice, I'm sorry, you got no chance, especially now with VAR. They're going to look at it and they're going to dish out the punishment. He walked, and he deserved to. I got no complaints about the red card. The yellow card being overturned that he was originally given. He was given a red. Early bath, marching orders, off you go down the tunnel, sunshine. That's your game done. Not only is it your game done, 3-game ban, as I understand it, because it's violent conduct. He's definitely out of the Manchester United game, and I think Nottingham Forest and whatever the game is after that. Brilliant, fantastic. We're in crap form as it is. We need all hands to the pump. We need our star players, and apparently he's one of them, really sort of like coming to the fore. But oh no, he's going to be out. Nowhere to be seen. We're going against the Manchester United team. They're going to be up for it. Make no mistake. We're in a bit of trouble here, guys. We've got, like I say, one of our star players out. We've got another so-called star player in Paqueta who's doing absolutely fuck all at the minute. Total waste of space. Anyway, the game was done. Like I say, that 8-minute spell in the second half completely took the game from under us. Waste of an afternoon. And of course, the worst thing is for me, my wife's a Spurs fan. She's been swanning around all day in a Tottenham shirt. Brilliant. Fantastic. Just fantastic. I mean, I've got a little bit here. I do it normally. Star players for each team. I as far as we're concerned, I don't think anyone really sort of like stood out. You know, I mean, some people were probably better than others in terms of they were just less shit. I think... I don't know. As far as star men for us, don't even go there. Waste of time. Fair reflection, yeah, probably was. As I say, they dominated possession. When you look at a lot of the stats, they all point towards Tottenham dominating. And do I think the result will impact on our next match? Well, it bloody ought to. I tell you why. Because if that doesn't act as a catalyst for the players, for the coach, to buck their fucking ideas up, a 4-1 reverse away from home to our nearest neighbours, then I don't know what will. I really don't know what will. Now, where's the point that we're going to turn around and say that, you know, this is just getting a little bit silly? We've had 10 competitive games with this guy. I know what people are going to turn around and say. He's come in. Obviously, there was a lot of things that he's had to sort out in the post-Moyes era. A lot of players that moved on. A lot of players that weren't good enough. A lot of players that were too old. A lot of players that were too injury-prone. There's a lot of stuff that's had to be moved around. But you talk about injury prone, we've signed a £27 million 32-year-old injury prone fucking striker. Seriously. And we not only that, but this was a striker. Before him, we was after John Duran. Now, excuse me, what are the similarities between those two strikers? There's none. They're completely different types of strikers. This is a point that I've made before, and many other people have made this point before, that we seem to have this very muddled transfer strategy. You know, at one point we was after that Kyle Walker-Peters. Then we went for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Two good players in their own right, don't get me wrong, but completely different ends of the spectrum as far as their attributes are concerned. Nicholas Fulkrug to John Duran, again, totally different from one another. Very, very muddled thinking. Again, as far as that's concerned, you've probably got to point the finger at Tim Stuyton. He's the guy that so we're led to believe is behind the transfer strategy at the club. So there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes, guys, that I just can't get my head around. It's very, very muddled, and this is not a good start to the season. But 10 competitive games we've had under this new head coach. Now, I don't know. Everybody's going to be different. Some people have already made up their mind. Some people are already of the opinion that he needs to go. I don't know whether I'm there yet. I think the next game is really the critical one. If we play 2 games back to back and have a similar shit performance like we did, and they're big games, and we don't stand up to be counted, something's desperately wrong. Something's desperately wrong. And I think at that point, I probably will be. I think maybe he needs to fuck off, basically. Not good. Not good at all. I mean, what can you say? Honestly, what can you say? It is just so bewildering. Anyway, the other thing I want to get off my chest. Did any of you see the TNT coverage? My God, they couldn't have been more up Tottenham's arse if they tried. They seriously couldn't. They had on the touchline, who did they have? Let's go through it. So they had Glenn Hoddle, Tottenham legend. They had Les Ferdinand. Legend, maybe not, but he's got Tottenham leanings. Yes, he had a spell at West Ham. He probably played about a dozen games, if that. Peter Crouch, again, Tottenham, right? Comes out on the touchline. Who do they interview? They interview Big Ange. Oh, Ange, we'll have a nice little jolly up. We'll have a nice little chat. 5-10 minutes we'll give you. You can have a nice little sort of back and forth, whatever. That's great. Yeah, mate. And what did they give J-Lo? And you might, as I say, you may be a J-Lo fan, you may not, right? But were they fair and even? Were they fuck? They slung him in some broom cupboard in the bowels of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, gave him 30 seconds, fucked him off, right? That was us done. They went up to the transfer to the gantry before the game started. They had Darren Fletcher and Ali McCoist, and all they were doing was waxing lyrical about how brilliant Tottenham Hotspur were, what fantastic achievements that they've done since their last title win in 1961. They've been fantastic, all those trophies that they've won since 2008. Brilliant. Fantastic club. Brilliant. Look at this lovely stadium. Brilliant. Nice. There's another club who's that other club that they're playing? I can't think. Hang on. It'll come to me. Oh, West Ham. That's them. Anyway, let's get back talking about Tottenham. Tottenham. West Ham. Tottenham. Now, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. If that was 2 teams in the top 6, if that was Arsenal v Tottenham, if that was Liverpool v Man United, they would have an even representation of both of the teams on show. So if it was Liverpool v Man United, you'd have Roy Keane representing Man United. You'd have Jamie Carragher representing Liverpool. If it was Tottenham against Arsenal, then you'd have Ian Wright representing Arsenal. You'd have Teddy Sheringham representing Tottenham, just for example, whatever, right? If they have a top 6 club playing against anybody else, like there was yesterday, fuck the other team. All the people want to see is Tottenham because they're the top 6 team. Absolute biased bunch of pricks, the fucking lot of them. And you're right, I am losing it, Sharky. I've got the ump. But it is just, I've got a real bee in my bonnet over that. It's just shit. It's just absolutely shit. Anyway, that's me. I didn't want to rant, but I've got into rant mode. Look, it is what it is. I have got the serious ump over a number of things. I've got the ump about our performance yesterday, which was crap. I've got the ump about the TNT coverage, which was so biased. It's hidden in plain sight. Just go and look. It's ridiculous. I've got the ump with the fact that my wife's wandering around in her Spurs shirt all day. Absolutely ridiculous. I sense a little bit of sarcasm there, Larry. But look, guys, I hope you get where I'm coming from. I'm sure you do. But we need to get back on the horse, and we need to do it a little bit lively. Like I say, Manchester United coming up. That will not be an easy fixture, and we need to make sure that we lick our wounds, we recover quickly. Because if we don't, I mean, on this little slide thing that I've got going, you've seen the table. That is literally the latest table. I did it literally before I hit start stream. That is where we find ourselves in the Premier League right now. That is not good going, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, let's not forget, a couple of weeks ago, everybody was looking at Everton and saying, oh, Everton are fucked this season. Everton are going to go down. Everton are right up our arse now. Everton have recovered, and they are right up our arse. We've got to be very, very aware that we've spent an awful lot of money in the summer for what everybody says is our best transfer window in many a year. It's a 10 out of 10 window. It's this, it's that. I got sucked into it. I was very, very excited by a lot of the business that we did. I'm not gonna shy away from that. The business that we did, there was a lot of people coming in, and you're sort of going, oh, brilliant, fantastic. We're getting a lot of business done, blah, blah, blah. It's not working. We've like I say, the glaring one is we've got a German international striker past his 30s, who's everybody knew he was injury prone, and oh look, he's got an injury, and it's like everybody's surprised about it. Really? Seriously? Come on, it's just ridiculous. But we need to sort it out. We need to sort this out. Michael's in there. He's already heard me ranting on a little bit earlier, poor fella. But Mike, you and me are probably on the same page, mate. It's here we go. Look, there's the table. There's the table. Like I say, a couple of weeks ago, Everton were fucked. Everton were going to go down. Everton were in the shit. The only thing that separates us is 2 goals. Over the 8 fixtures that we've both played, the only thing that now separates us and Everton is 2 measly goals. I mean, the only thing that at the minute, if we carry on like this, the only thing that's going to save us is that there's going to be 3 teams worse than us. Not that we're any good. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I feel better now. I feel this has been quite cathartic. This has been quite, yeah. I probably should, sort of lay on my couch, tell me about your childhood. Like I say, I'm sure you can see, you know where I'm all coming from. You all know, you can feel my pain. You can feel my frustration. You can feel my anger, quite frankly. Listen, I'm going to knock it on the head because I don't want to be Mr. Ranty. I don't want to be sort of like just some caricature of myself. I just am very passionate about, look, if we'd have lost 2-1 or whatever, 4-1 for fuck's sake, 4-1. And we was really lucky in certain respects. Like I say, we weren't very good. Colin, hope you're well, mate. Other players we've brought right for Loppy's style of play and setup? I am not sure. Do you know what, Colin? And that's kind of the worry, is that sort of like the thinking. Like I say, if you look at like I say, the transfer strategy is quite muddled, and the 2 ones that you look at and go, they don't make sense, is we switched from Kyle Walker-Peters, an offensive right back, to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's more a defensive right back. Totally different attributes. The other one, like I say, is John Duran, young, pacey, dynamic forward for a 32-year-old injury-prone German who is a decent enough striker in terms of his record. He's a 1-in-3 merchant, but he's not got the same dynamism. And this is the thing that really bugs me, is it's like there's no there's no cohesion. So I don't know. I don't really know sort of like what is Tim Stighton playing at. Leslie, in answer to your question, who are the three? Well, look, we beat the other one of the teams last time out in Ipswich. I would say they're worse. I'd say Southampton are worse. But do you know what? The more I think about it, am I going to sort of like put my colours on the mast for 3? Do you know what? I'm not sure. Do you know what? This is what worries me, is that it would be typical of us to spend all this fucking money in the summer and get relegated. You know, yeah, our midfield has mainly been recruited by our director of football. I have noticed that, and that's the worrying thing, is that, and Michael will, if he's still there, Michael knows, because Michael, I'll give him credit. He's been banging this drum for a little while now that Tim Stighton is not the Messiah. He's a little bit of a charlatan, I think Michael would probably go as far as to say, because it's, he got a lot of his reputation for being a director of football. And you're still here, Michael. Cheers, mate. He was what was he? He was a scout, wasn't he, Michael? He wasn't a director of football like he is here. It's a completely different role that he's got. So anyway, Daniel's come in. How you doing, Daniel? Do you honestly think we'll get anything from the Man U game? I was yes before yesterday, but not now. Look, like I say, it depends upon how we react. If we've got some proper strong characters in the dressing room, and that is the thing that worries me, is that I do wonder whether we do have those strong characters that we had in years gone past. The Mark Nobles, the Billy Bonses, the Julian Dixies, the Alvin Martins, those people that when you were in the shit, when you were in the trenches, and when you needed people to stand up to be counted, they were there. I'm not too sure we've got those type of characters anymore. I'm not too sure they exist. Colin, I wouldn't be shocked, mate. I really wouldn't be shocked. Loppy took the DeLorean a wee bit back. Was passing okay. Not bad for the first half. Yeah, like I say, we got outplayed in the first half in terms of possession. But we had the better chances, I thought. But second half, mate, honestly, the wheels came off. Yeah, there you go. He was he wasn't a director of football. He was a scout under Simon Rolfes. So yeah, that's something that Michael's been saying for a little while now. Ebbsfleet are terrible, but Dartford haven't been much better, mate. I mean, like I say, Dartford have sort of like 2 divisions further down and not sort of pulling that many trees, it has to be said. Yeah, again, it's the Emperor's new clothes, isn't it? We get someone that you sort of like is a little bit different, a little bit exciting, whatever, and we all go fucking overboard. And I'm now beginning to wonder whether this geezer's actually all he's cracked up to be. We'll wait and see. Anyway, look, I'm going to disappear, guys, as I say. Appreciate you being my therapy session. I appreciate you, all of the back and forth that we've had. Hang on. What's this? Hang on. This is his first role in senior football. Us fans have been holding us, are all holding on to a great scarf hope because we all wanted the transfers out of Sullivan's hands. But the thing is, though, Michael, Sullivan's still in charge ultimately. And if Sullivan wants to bring a player in or doesn't want to bring in a Stighton player, it won't happen. He's still the boss. He's still the one that calls the shots. It's probably window dressing if we're being honest about it. So, Mikey says verbal diarrhea in his job interview to Sully as well. False fucking prophet, the geezer. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are sort of beginning to look at Tim Stighton and wonder. I did also think it was a little bit weird that he was in the tunnel before the game, sort of shaking the players' hands and all that shit. I don't know many other directors of football that get involved to that level. But anyway, look, I'm going to disappear, guys. I do appreciate you you being my therapy session, as I say. For those of you that are able to help us out, please don't forget to like, comment on and share this stream to your social media platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new around here. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for alerts and new content. Remember, all these things that you can do are free of charge to you. They take a couple of seconds of your time. They help to grow the channel into something bigger and better than it is currently. And as always, we thank you very much indeed for your support in this matter. Please also don't forget to give your support to the Irons Supporting Food Banks charity. We'll see you next time. Come on, you Irons, and you look after yourselves. Take care now.
Irons supporting food banks collects food and cash donations for needy families in Newham Borough and beyond. Please consider making a donation via their Just Giving page, the link for which you will find in the description section of this stream. Come on, you Irons!